Everyone, back for another battle report here, doing another league match. The Salamanders have been paired up with my Tyranids. So, like I mentioned in the previous videos, trying out a different style list or high fleet every round, or just offering some variation for myself and everyone's sick of Leviathan. So that's very fair. So we got high fleet Kraken. Here's 2,000 points. In the HQ slot, I have Swarmlord with 3 Tyrant Guard. They have been upgraded to Adrenal Glands just to keep them a little speedier. Neuroparasite and Paroxysm on him. Neurothrope with Synaptic Tendrils. And he's obviously the Warlord being a Hive Tyrant. And then he has Synaptic Tendrils, so 1 CP spent. I'm at 2 CP, you'll see why shortly. So 1 there for Synaptic Tendrils to do his Warp Siphon twice. And he has Catalyst and Onslaught. And then up this way, we have a Broodlord outside of my Force Organization chart because I have Genestealers. There's 10 of them. The Broodlord has Psychic Scream. So potentially looking to do some early interrogation if I go that route. And then I had 20 points, so I have an Infestation node. I thought, why not? And then we have Deathleaper in the Elite slot. Oh, sorry. And also part of the HQ slot is the Trygon Prime. He has the Passenger and Adaptive Biology. So that is all my CP spent. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4 for Deathleaper having Alien Cunning. So the Tyranid as well with, I put Dermic Symbiosis, so it has a 4-up involved. So the Trygon is going to be going in there and landing and hopefully making a nice turn 1 charge. 2 units of Warriors, Boneswords, Deathspitters, that's it. They're just there more for the imperative. 10 Hormagaunts, 8 Raveners with Deathspitters, Rending Claws, and then 3 Venomthropes, and then 3 Biovores just to round it out. So just bringing something different. It's been a while since I played Kraken. It used to be before the new codex because I haven't really used it a bunch. Probably my favorite fleet. It was a lot of fun to use. So we're going to see how this plays out. He's a great guy.
Alright everybody, we got 2,000 points of Salamanders. This is my tournament list, so it hasn't changed too much in the past little while, so I don't know if it's the same since the last video with the Salamanders or not. But we got a Gravis captain here. I spent a CP to give him the Strength of the Forge, I believe it's called, for extra 2 strength, so I can really use that gauntlet. I got the Primaris Librarian, Drake Skin, and Fire Shield. I got the Apothecary, which I spent another CP to give him the Selfless Healer. So he can do all his healing strats and all that good stuff. Into my troops, I got a 10-man squad of Intercessors, which I'm thinking about breaking into 2 squads, most likely just for some board presence. I have a 5-man squad of Infiltrators that always deep strike and get me that objective, hopefully. Maybe not with the Genestealers this game, because they'll probably die. And then I got a 5-man squad of Attack Marines with a las cannon, and they're going to go on the drop pod. Into my elites, I got a 5-man squad of Aggressors. Spent a CP on the Sergeant to give him the, can't remember the name of it, but it's basically a double damage weapon. Mastercrafted weapons is what it is. And then to my 5-blade guard, all just good old boys, go up the middle. 5-man squad of Terminators, Chain Fists, and a Reaper Cannon, Storm Bolters, all the good stuff. 5-man squad of Company Vets, and they're all with Meltas. Devastators, not Company Vets. Devastators with multi-meltas for the 24-inch range. And then I have a Dreadnought with proxying him with a multi-melta on him, not the plasma cannon that you see, plasma cannon. A drop pod for my Attack Marines and the Devastators. 3-man squad of Eliminators, sorry, with las fusils on them, so not the regular bolt carbines, but the las fusils for a little bit extra damage. And then last but not least, the 3-man Eradicators. So that's 2,000 points, Salamanders.
Everyone, here is the table we're playing on today. We are playing Conversion from the Nephilim pack. Each round in the Basement Wargaming League has a fixed mission, so I mean, for you, you're just going to see me work through all of them, but for everyone else, just mentioning how the league works. So this is a table. There's 5 objectives in total, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can take a look at the Nephilim pack to get the full details on Conversion, or also see the little slide next that'll explain the mission in full. But essentially, you want to take these objectives in the No Man's Land for some extra points, hold your opponent's one, and if you don't have your own, you lose one. So that's it. And it is a 9-inch bubble from the center. And a quick shout out to 3D6 Wargaming as well for these amazing objective markers. Nice mouse pad material, nice and light, and it sits good on the table and looks very sharp as well. So if you want to click the affiliate link in the video description, supports the channel, and you can also get yourself some cool custom ones. You can also become a patron in the channel. So a big shout out to Teos and Sarlinked for their support on the channel. It means a ton and it's going to help the growth. I know it's been a slow summer, but just business for me has been extremely busy. My work outside of Warhammer, the real work, and we're back to it though, so getting back to a regular schedule, so very excited for that. Now in terms of secondaries, I guess I'm kind of jumping into, do you have yours picked?
Yes, I do.
I think I have mine picked. I'm on the spot here. So I'm just going to say mine. I'm going to go with, I kind of planned it beforehand. So I'm going to go with Banners, I think is an okay one. I think I got the Genestealers, so I'm going to go Banners. I think Psychic Interrogation is the play. I don't really want to go to the middle in this map. Psychic Interrogation for me. And then I'm going to do, how many characters do you have? 3. I was going to do Engage. You know, I think Engage is a smart play, but I may do Cranial Feasting just to be fun. So I do have a lot of melee, not really much shooting. No, actually, I'm gonna do Engage. I'm gonna go with that because I actually do have a lot of shooting. I kind of forgot the Rafters, Deathspitters, and if I shoot a unit, you're just gonna pull the Sergeant, and then I can't get any points. It's such a stupid secondary. And yours?
I'm going with Assassination.
Assassination.
Promethean Creed.
A lot.
And Retrieve Nephilim.
Ooh, R&D. Okay. There we go. So we're gonna roll off now. The sides are pretty much equal, but we're gonna go through the whole standard song and dance. So it's a 5 for the Tyranids to a 3. So pretty much the same sides, really. I might just go over there because I'm always finding myself standing on this side of the table. So we'll come back after we have deployed. All right, folks, so we have deployed. So I actually ended up taking over here. It was better for the Genestealers, and you know what? I would have went over there, but the Genestealers, they're going to go big this game. So here we go. We got Raveners tucked in there, just perfectly in line with that. You'll see why in just a moment. We got 3 Warriors, Biovores, Venomthropes, Neurothrope, Swarmy, and then the Deathleaper, Warriors, Hormagaunts, and then opposing me over here, we've got Infiltrators, Eliminators. So they got a really cool site. I'm actually, this is probably one of the cooler tables we've done in a while. So really cool sight lines. There's a lot of like areas like these Hormagaunts kind of are exposed, like straight down, I guess, but there's nothing that can really shoot them. But there's such like a cool lane block here that they can like kind of move past, and like if you can kind of jump past gaps, you're kind of safe. So kind of some risk reward stuff. So as a good table should have. Then we've got Intercessors, Eradicators, Dreadnought right up at the front and center. Captain there. Intercessors Combat Squad, so they're there. Librarian, Aggressors, Apothecary, and Blade Guard. And then who am I? Terminators, and who's your other one? The Drop Pod. The Drop Pod. Tax Squad and the Drop Pod. And they're a Combat Squad, the Tax Squad.
No, it's just 5 minutes for attack.
Oh, it's just, okay. And then
Intercessors were tax.
that's what it was. And then my Genestealers over here with the Broodlord and my Infestation Nodes. My super cool Mucolid from 7th edition. Made back in like 2013, so many moons ago. And then in my drop pod is my Trygon, who has a beautiful pocket. Kind of wish I took the cranial thing now, because he could come down here and he could make some charges. But we'll see. We'll see if he makes it. Big if there. So that's it, everyone. So we're going to roll off now, find who's going first. Should be a fantastic game. Like I said, I'm really excited with the setup of the terrain. It's going to be actually, it's probably some of our best games have been with High Peak Kraken, obviously with the older book, but we're going to see if that trend continues. So let's go. Ras Reach, my boys right there, and girl. There we go. Oh, Kaylee let me down. Tyler, Zeech let me down. And Nick. All right. All right. So actually, I kind of want you to go first.
Oh, sure.
You have a lot to shoot at. You have a lot to shoot at. All right, we'll come back after turn 1. Oh, and I didn't mention my adaptive. Well, I mentioned it to him, but not to all of you. I stuck with the advanced one, so just kind of pure Kraken. There we go. And Deathleaper as well is measured perfectly, so nothing could shoot him. I get within 12 of him. And then same with these guys. I mentioned they were kind of like on the line. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting turn 1. Not a ton to shoot at for either side, but he does get first dibs on the drop pod. Been done for the Salamanders. So drop pod did decide to come in. He's gonna bully these two, I guess. I'm alright with that, maybe. We'll see. Depends on the dice results. These guys are R&Ding over here, so getting that taken care of. One guy's staying down just to hold the objective. Then over this way, Eliminators obviously staying still. These guys moving back to to get rid of the nice spot that my Tyranid would have came down. Turn 1, Eradicators moving forward with the Intercessors, along with the Captain. Dreadnought moving on to the center objective with the rest of the clan. Pretty much everyone's just piling into the middle. This is the Promethean cult Creed?
Yes.
Creed. Objective as well, so I mean... Cult. No, that's the name of your trait?
Yeah.
There you are. So everyone's on here. Where is the Apothecaries right there as well? And who am I missing for Librarian right there as well? So that's it for movement. Let's come back after Psychic and actually a bit of shooting now with the drop. All right, folks, so turn is done. All said and done, I mean, given that there wasn't much to shoot at, what he could shoot at, he killed. My Warriors got obliterated. I did spend the CP for -1 damage against them. They're hitting on 4s, so I figured if I could mitigate it enough, just keeping one warrior alive would have been huge for these guys. So I lost only 2 of them actually from these TAC Marines and the drop pod. But then I failed morale, rolling a 6, coming in hot with a 6. Sorry, one more ran with that. So I got 6. It's okay. But yeah, all said and done. So scoring some for the Creed in the middle, and 1 R&D successfully passed for these guys getting this quarter done. So 1 step done. Let's see if they can get the rest of them. So let's jump into Tyranids, turn 1 now. See how it looks. Alright folks, so movement is done. Loving the speed of Kraken. So these guys moving forward, ready to push over this way. Hopefully Deathleaper can clear them out, then vanish into the night. I'm pretty confident those guys making a charge in should be able to do some damage. All I need is at least 1 Hormagaunt to live, all said and done, to null out the Terminators dropping in between them and them. And I mean, if Deathleaper has to stay, he has to stay. As well as then they can wrap onto that objective based off them making a good charge. Maybe even they'll go in there. We'll see. Then over this way, everyone's spread out. Got a banner up there from the Venomthropes. The Neurothrope moved over. The Biovores spread out. So my whole area over here with the Terminators has been denied for now. Then over this way, everyone has dropped in. Hoping my goal here is to get rid of the Blade Guard and then ideally make the charge here with the Tyrannocyte and the Trygon. Get rid of the Blade Guard and then just tag the aggressors with the Tyrannocyte. If I can just hold it there, I'm good. Broodlord has stepped up. The Genestealers have spread out as well, nulling out this area from the Terminators coming in, as well as with the Broodlord and Genestealers there. Swarmlord, who advanced with these guys to get past the lane on this side, will be good. Again, I just got to tag the aggressors and then keep Swarmlord safe. But even then, he still has to shoot through all of them, which will be a little bit tough. And I still have Paroxysm as well to turn off a few things. So let's jump into Psychic shooting. All right, so Psychic shooting done. Honestly, came down pretty good. So Blade Guard left with 3 alive. This guy's down with 1 wound left from shooting from Warriors. So he decided to pull from this side for the Psychic powers. If not, from the Super Smite came through the Broodlord. He wants to make sure he's fit to back on the table. It's been a long time since I used him. Super Smite did 6 mortals, killed off 1 guy and almost another, but he has the Feel No Pains there. Oh, you actually have a Feel No Pain if you want to quickly roll that for that 1 move, because that does matter. No, okay. And then the Trygon fired in, being Synapse, Shardlord, these guys, so hoping the Pod and the Trygon can make nice, healthy charge in there, and then hopefully take them out and then touch the aggressors. I just want to touch them, keep them from flaming Swarmlord or anything else. If I can just contain this middle, I'll feel good. If not, he's going to be doing well. Got Onslaught off on these guys. Failed my Interrogate. I was going to re-roll it, but I really needed the CP for everything to play out as I wanted to, and then he denied it. Sorry, I failed the Interrogate because he denied it. And then my Raptors actually didn't shoot anyone. I didn't want to risk killing this front guy, but my Warriors fired in at the end and did 1 wound, which is what I needed, being that I have 2 damage. Trygon weapons. And then over this way, the Biovores bombed in, kill a guy in half, because I got faith in these Hormagaunts, but I really can't risk losing too many. I need them to stay alive to deny the Terminators coming in on this side. So that's it. We're going to go with the charges now. So honestly, some good and some bad here, depending on who you're talking to. So Deathleaper came in, killed off only 2 of them. Not too bad, though, because he did have enough consolidation to move around and tag the drop pods. That way, these guys leaving, he won't be exposed. He's going to be tagged there, so he is safe from shooting. I mean, stuff can charge him. I'm okay with that. But the Terminators, if they want to come, it's going to be a bit of a charge to walk around, at least. And again, if they're positioned over there, I'm okay with that. Hormagaunts. Nothing happened for them hitting it, and they lost one turn. So all said and done, and I passed morale good. So I just needed them to live. I was hoping to at least chip them down a little bit more. But again, tying those guys up or OBSEC and keeping them from pushing into my objective is the whole goal here. The Trygon, actually, big story into the middle here. So me doing a wound to that guy actually mattered because he, in a way, hoped that that guy would sort of die. Again, it came at the cost of being out of coherency. So another Blade Guard was pulled there. The Tyrant Guard made their charge up here. My drop pod didn't make it, even with the reroll, unfortunately, and 3d6 charge. But the Trygon did. These guys flamed into the Trygon thanks to some very good save rolls. The Trygon was okay. They're only losing 2 wounds, and then the aggressors did their 3d6 heroic intervention from Born Protectors, I think it's called, the stratagem. And they lost 1.5 guy, I think it was. Yes. Thanks to the Apothecary saving the day there. So they'll be recovered. Potentially, or maybe the Blade Guard. Hard to say who will get healed, but I'm guessing the aggressors. So that's it for the turn. And then with the Tyrant Guard, they also lost one in return, 1.5 from this guy. So good rolls there, and but them getting positioned prevents the Terminators from coming at my Swarmlord. So Swarmy is teed up to head into the fray here. Really sucks that my drop pod didn't make it, but it's all right, sort of. So we'll head into Salamanders, turn 2. All right, folks, so that is the end of movement for Salamanders turn 2. So Deathleaper remains in there. I enacted the Hive Tyrant in pairs, that way he can leave and jump onto that objective and do some fighting, if I so please, next turn after getting to do some attacks there. He's keeping those guys in, hopefully just to chip Deathleaper down, do some wounds to him there. The aggressors obviously staying in combat. With the Trygon, the Blade Guard fell back. Where'd he go? He's ready. There he is. Aggressors healed back to full, nice and healthy from the Apothecary, and the Dreadnought moved forward. Librarian stay where it is. Terminators have arrived here, and R&D, we just rolled it now because nothing's going to affect those guys at all. So they successfully did there. So 2 zones done for a round. So that's it. Let's move into Psychic and Shooting. Folks, so Psychic and Shooting done. So all said and done, again, this is a very back and forth slugging game. So the Gaunts got, they're gone. Bolters, and then the Trygon withering absolute storm, dropping down to 4 wounds. There's a total of 18 wounds at one point coming through the regular flamers there. No, that's without the sergeant, and I passed all but 4 of them, and then made I think it was 3 out of the 4, something like that. It was wild. Anyway, he's alive. The Tyrant Guard gone, evaporated. This guy dropped down to 9 wounds. And that's it, I believe, for shooting. Then we got some charges and maybe a charge or 2. Some fights to go down. So we'll come back after that. See the end of the turn. All right, so that's the end of the turn. So that Trygon actually almost lived after all the punches in there. I debated using my Transit strat. Actually, probably, well, I don't know. It would have affected the rolls. I rolled an absurd amount of saves against. I think there was 11 wounds against him. He had 4 wounds, and I passed all but 4 of them, and then I did not quite fare so well on the Feel the Pain roll. Then over this way, Deathleaper diced up those guys. He wasn't in base with this, so I just consolidated around, get some extra movement here, then I can come in and start chopping away at the lads right there. So that's it on that front. In the middle, it is looking pretty good if you are a Space Marine fan, but I got a lot of counter charges about to come in, hopefully. And see what happens there. So let's jump into turn 2 Tyranids. All right, folks. So movement is done for the Tyranids. So trying to get a little bit well positioned here. Deathleaper coming out over this way, ready to make a charge in at the guys here. Hopefully the Biovores can clear off the 3 guys there, or at least do enough damage that they're cleared and taken care of. The Deathleaper can come in. If he dices up even just a few of those guys, then the objective will be ours, because I only have to kill 3 of them, then because he counts as 5. And then I've got that one. Then into the middle here, we're coming. So the Raveners are OBSEC, and they advance, but I've got the Neurothrope positioned outside of deny range to launch in with a nice Onslaught 3d6 +1 cast. Then the Venomthropes coming forward as well, because if I can just get in here take out this center, and then get in an engagement with those guys and the Swarmlord can kill the Dreadnought, I'm going to feel real good about everything. If not, I'm going to feel real bad. Warriors over this way, shielding for the Neurothrope. Things go south. Genestealers backing away with the Broodlord. Going to be my interrogator for this turn, I think, because I need a lot of psychic powers to go down and work out well for me. And then the Terminators as well. They can make it onto the objective with a 5-inch advance, but then they won't be able to charge, or they can bank on a 12-inch charge, making it into the Genestealers, but even that can be a little risky. So that's it for the Tyranid turn. Let's and then the drop pod. Actually, he's just going to come forward a little bit. Forgot to move him. Only has 4-inch movement. But that's it. So we'll come back after the psychic. Oh, he thinks he's cool. We're just discussing who Deathleaper might end up fighting here. So that's the end of the shooting. So all said and done, pretty decent. Killed off 2 of these guys with the Biovores. Was hoping to kill off get most of them out of there. But anyway, all I have to do is there is 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to kill 3 of them in that squad, and then the objective is mine. Or just go for them and then fire into them. But I'll probably go for those guys. I think we shall see. Then up this way, actually did really good against the aggressors. Killed 2 of them out of there. I mean, with all the shooting and everything coming in, it's still pretty decent. The one thing that didn't go over well for me is it didn't get Paroxysm off, but got Onslaught off in them, which is the one that mattered. Did get my interrogation off with the Broodlord, and didn't wound to those guys. So we're chipping away at them. Now we have some fights to go down. Definitely got a bunch of charges to come in. I still have 1 CP on the board. So we're going to see if we can put that into good use here. And then we'll move into... All right, folks, so that is the end of Tyranids turn 2. So a bit of a swing back here for the Tyranids. So coming in here, clearing off all but 1 infiltrator. He was at the back, so the drop pod was actually closer, so he got to pile in, tag the drop pod, and stay on the objective as well. So taking that away from the Salamanders with that drop pod in place. Into the middle here, the Ravners going off, but then the Salamanders rolling insane for the Field of Pains, almost pulling it through with the aggressors, but then the Scything Talons attacks finished them off, and the Venomthropes got roasted on the way in with 1 left with 2 wounds, and Swarmlord took out the Dreadnought, and 1 Ravner getting injured there as well. So that's it for the turn. You did get some points, I believe, though, from Promethean for you'll max that one. Yeah, so that is on the board as well. And then I did get interrogated. I can't remember if I mentioned that earlier or not. So that's it for Tyranids turn 2. All right, folks, so movement done for Salamander's turn 3. So scoring 1 primary for back there. Tyranids denying still. These guys fell back. The captain's coming forward. I think it was a 6 or so charge through there, so not too bad. Over this way, though, it is going to be a long bomb charge for the Terminators. They have decided to head back towards the middle, as it is a more valuable objective than the bait that the Genestealers have set up on that side. Everyone in the middle has fallen back, so a lot riding on the charge there, and hopefully some damage coming through from these lads there. And then this squad pushing forward towards my objective. But ideally, I'm going to have a bit of a counter punch on that side. Hopefully, we'll see. So we'll come back after. So that is the end of the Psychic and shooting. So a little bit went down. A Super Smite came through on the Ravners, but I had Catalyst, and it quite literally ruined their day, doing a single mortal from 5 mortals. Yeah, really good roll is there. Again, for my little Ravs. Shooting coming through. These guys up here killed the Tyranids, just barely. I passed 2 of my end balls, failed my 3rd one. I would have been wicked to get that saved. I low-key thought about using the Transnid on it, and he rolled all 3s to wound it, which would have been, good time to use it, but that's okay. So it has fallen, and Swarmlord taking 2 wounds from the Terminators. Big charge is about to come down. Needs a 9 on the dice here for that one, and then what was 7 on the dice for over here? Mm-hmm. So we're going to roll these on camera, because honestly, I think if you fail these, I think I pretty much have the game in the bag. But if you make these, I think you have a solid chance to really swing the game around. I think it'll become interesting if you can pull these off. So where do you want to go first? You have 1 CP for a reroll.
I do. I'm gonna do it on the Terminators.
All right, here we go.
9 on the dice. Easy.
You're using that. He's got 1 CP reroll, or is it more important to get Deathleaper?
No, I think it's more important to get in the middle.
Good call.
Here we go. 9 on the dice. Easy.
There it is.
Go.
All right, and then do you want to just roll the captain while we're here?
Captain.
No rerolls this time, though.
Rerolls. 7.
That's a 7.
Bam.
All right. So I do still have 2 CP for interrupted as well. But yeah. All right. If I can tank this though, you're in a bad spot.
Oh
now if I don't, like we said, we got ourselves an interesting game here. All right, folks, so the turn is done. I lost Deathleaper, unfortunately. Doesn't help when you don't pass any of your involves, but over this way, though, can't complain. The Terminators came in, didn't do a single wound to Swarmlord, and then he killed 4 of them just like that. So all said and done, it's pretty decent. So again, this game has gotten interesting, which is great, and they passed morale as well. So we're going to jump into turn number 3 for the Tyranids. All right, so all of my movement is done for the Tyranids. So the Ravagers just staying in the middle, kind of getting spread out. Not killing that Terminator was big last turn because they would have been able to shift through. Max on primaries for this turn. Then the Genestealers using opportunistic advance to come flying out up here. I'm going to use Onslaught onto them and get them into a good spot. And then Swarmlord is just going to stay there. I'm going to smite him, hopefully. Then I'll be able to come forward and get into the center if all goes as planned. And then the Warriors came forward as well. Might make use of the reroll for the charges against these lads here. And the Broodlord just moving up to the corner, staying on that objective as well. And then the Neurothrope just repositioning for some psychic ability. And that's it for movement. All right, folks, so that is the end of the turn. So Raveners, I actually split them up multi-charge, charged the Apothecary, and this guy, mulched them, slammed attack there, failed to charge here, and killed the other guy, and that's it. So into Salamanders, turn 4, and nothing for engage though, unfortunately, because I am definitely not within 6, but next turn I will start to get some engage points on the board, I think. So that's it. So that is the end of turn 4 for the Salamanders. The game's actually super close. So the Captain Suicide missioned in. I got a little zealous in the middle, killing all the characters. Psychic Terry kind of bite me there. Might not be the best play with a more aggressive list, but that's okay. So secondary-wise, are both kind of lacking, being that I've cleared out the middle here. The Eradicators are gone. The Captain is dead. Taking a few Raveners. Only 2 left, though, which is a big deal. They are going to be offset coming in to steal some objectives here shortly. And that's it. So we're going to jump into Tyrant's turn 4. All right, folks, so that is the end of Tyrant's turn 4. We just wrapped it up. Not a whole lot was happening. It's just everything moved very quick. But to recap it, the Genestealers went in, mopped those guys out of there. Biovores bombed and cleared this objective. Raveners came in, finished them off. And then a banner was raised by the Warriors there. And then for the rest of the game, 1 more Warrior was killed by these guys into the Salamander turn 5. Swarmlord just backed up to get me engaged for 3 points for the end of the game. And they threw up another banner. So not quite maxing, getting 14 for that. But that is the end of the game. So it is 82. What, 82? Oh, wait, no. 82-62. I don't know why I keep saying. So 82-62. So actually, it was a pretty close game, all said and done. What do you think of Kraken?
It's not as scary as it used to be.
No Dimmacarons.
Yeah.
The Dimmacarons, yeah. Yeah, all said and done. It's definitely.
Just suck you down.
They didn't do anything the whole game. Yeah. Yeah, they were fun though. Raveners, I think I'm going to play around them. I think on a whole, the list played well. The Trygon was kind of a letdown with the pod. And yeah, outside of that, I think everything worked good except the Trygon. And the Genestealers. Swap them out. I think this actually be a pretty decent list now, like with the playstyle. The Genestealers, they kind of came out late game, but it's a lot of points just sitting there.
It's a swing point.
Yeah.
They swung it at the end.
Yeah. But it was a good match. Definitely one of the best we've had with Tyranids and Salamanders in a while, so it was fantastic. And we'll see you in the round 4 starts next week, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah, so we'll see who's paired up for that. So I could play the Tau, Mechanicum, or I think Knights is the other opponent as well. So I played him first round. Yeah, he switched. So yeah, so the Knights have switched to Iron Hands. We're allowing that in the league as well. So, but that's it. Thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you next.